And we are live. Hello, hi Queens. This is Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. So I chose this time to go live. I think this is going to be my regular time to go live now. I'm gonna try to go live weekly. We'll see how things go, but in case also I need to change, I'll let you guys know in advance. So if you have checked my community tab this week, I've shared with you what we're going to be talking about, which is essentially reflecting on the past Wealthy Black Women Summit, which happened on November 18th. And the reason why I wanted to do this was mainly because I felt like during the summit, I really did not take the time to share the why behind the summit. So I want to take that time to share that with you and also go through, the whole preparation or organization of the event and how things went. Before I jump into that, I want to welcome anyone who's watching right now. Drop a hi, a hello, a hola into the comments below. Let's have a conversation about this. Let me know if you attended the Wealthy Black Women Summit on November 18th. And let's get conversation started. I know this is a very unpopular time to go live because most people, especially in Canada and in the United States, you guys are probably at work, doing amazing thing out there as well to build wealth. But that's the time that works for me right now. So we'll see. Maybe in the future I'll change, but if you're not here live, make sure to catch the replay. Come in the comments and say, hashtag replay and let me know what you think of the live. So, hi Donna. Oh, okay, you did not attend the summit. Okay, so I will share some insight with you today, but definitely feel free to grab a replay pass. We have the replay pass available that you can actually grab to have access to the sessions. Of course, I'm a little bit biased because I organized the summit, but I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, a lot of constructive feedback as well. And that's why I also want to do this live today. So the why behind the summit. I think that actually it comes from three key moments in my life. The first moment that I'll say it's a why behind the summit is essentially during my childhood. So I was born in Benin, West Africa. Born and I also grew up there until I was 17, 18. That's the time that I left the country. But when I was growing up, I really saw the impact of not having strong financial position on Black women lives. So either they're having relationship ending and then they have to go back to the parents, or sometimes they'll just stay in a bad relationship because they don't know where to go and they don't have the finances to sustain themselves. So from a young age, I've been like, a young girl and seeing things like that. I always told myself, never ever, I will let myself be in a situation where I have to stay in a relationship, though I don't like being there, or that I have to move back with my parents, even if that was not my choice. Because for a lot of those women moving back with the parents, there was kind of like a sort of shame around it because you got married, you went to the husband's house, and now you're divorcing, and now it's almost like you going back, right? It's kind of like a bit of a step down from the position that you were in. So I that was like, no, anything that I will do in my life, I will make sure that essentially I'm going to have I'm going to have my money in check. So that was the first, I guess, moment that I can say is behind the why of the Wealthy Black Women Summit. The second moment is, so when I came to Canada, I did my bachelor, my undergraduate, and I also continued right away after my undergraduate, I went into a master. So I did the undergraduate and a master's, which took me 5 years of my life. And upon graduating, I could not find a job in my field at the level that I was at. I just could not. And so it took me months and months and months of searching for job and just doing random jobs just to be able to sustain myself, because at the time I had to find something to sustain myself, my sister and I essentially. And so Ended up finally landing a customer service position at a bank here in Canada. So that was entry level. My starting salary was $27,000. Can you imagine? $27,000 after getting an undergraduate and a master's. But I had to take that job because that was the only job that I could land it at the time. And honestly, though that was for me a bit of a disappointment and a failure, almost like, what is this, after an undergraduate and a graduate, I'm getting a customer service position that really did not need me to even have an undergraduate to start with, not even a high school, not even college, right? So anyway, so for me it was just like, getting my foot in the door and just start somewhere. I will say that I've learned so much from that position, because being in that position, I was helping customers, right? They were calling because they had different inquiries in regard to their finances, investments, and all of those things. And that exposed me to so much. I could see people making ton and ton of money and being in credit card debt. I could see people not making that much of money and having huge investment portfolio. And so, being young at that age and being exposed to that, it made me start, thinking, what is the, how is this happening? How is the money right now? Like, how come someone making $150,000 a month is living paycheck, $150,000 a year is living paycheck to paycheck, versus someone like me who's making like $30,000, $40,000 a year. They were able to save for the kids education, save for their own retirement, have money to go on trips. And it really helped me to start being really a better steward of my money. I was already good with money, I'll say, by then, because I had to, like, saving, but I was not exposed to the whole investment aspect, or like, insurance, insuring your asset, protecting your estate and all of those things. So that customer service position, though, for me was a failure. And I did that for probably a year and a half. Then I moved into another position, still on the phone, but like higher. I ended up kind of like, training people to do that job by the time I was done with that department. So I was there for probably 4 years. I learned so much. And, that's why sometimes I tell young people who are so eager to get into a high paying job when they finish university, you never know. That might be something that definitely is not at your level, is below your level. But guess what? That might be where you might establish the best connections or learn the most. So for me, that was like, a wake up call. And it's good because I was exposed to that early in my life. So I started also doing the same thing, really being mindful of my money, saving, not wasting the money, and start like buying GICs and mutual funds back then. Although I wasn't making that much, like I said, I started at 27,000 a year, and I had to pay my rent. I had to eat in there. I had to pay for transportation. Like, I don't know. Tell me, like, if you hear, if you started with a lower paying job, and let me know how that actually helped you. I hope that helped you in a way. But for me, that was where I started. And that was, I think, the second part of the why behind the Wealthy Black Women Summit. And the third part for me was also probably 5 years ago. I realized that I cannot do that job until I retire. Like, something has to give up. Like, I cannot. I knew probably like 5, 6, or 7 years ago that I needed to find an alternative to working for someone, because there were so much that I wanted to do that 3 weeks vacation a year will not allow me to do. And so for me was at the time, how do I make money, or how do I, invest faster? How can I establish a nest egg for myself that can give me the freedom to quit the job? And that's how I got into the financial independence. Um, I guess, yeah, the whole financial independence community. And I was reading and I was watching videos and I was listening to podcasts. I came across Mr. Money Mustache. And for me, it was good, like the way he was sharing his knowledge. But I just felt like it was too extreme. Like, he was doing a lot of things by himself. I'm not the DIY person. I'm the type of person, find the professional and let the professional do it. There's certain things I can't be bothered doing it. So, but for him, there was a lot of pride, and I guess that's how he was saving money too, to do that. He was doing a lot of things by himself, and a lot of people in his community were, hardcore DIYers, and that almost turned me off. And then I'm like, is that the way that I can actually gain financial independence? And so, in just looking a bit further, I realized that no, there's other people who are also um, looking for financial independence, working on it, but who are not that extreme, are not like sacrificing that much in the present moment. And that's how I came across the Choose FI podcast. So Choose FI is a American podcast. There are like two co-hosts, and so I was listening to them a lot at the time. And then I realized that they actually created a Facebook group for each city, probably in the world. And so there was one for Ottawa. However, it was not. It was just like there. It was just created, but nobody was doing anything. There was nobody part of the Choose FI Ottawa page, a group. So I contacted them, and I'm like, okay, I'm in Ottawa. I listen to Choosify all the time. I would like to have a community of Choosify people here in Ottawa, and I see the Facebook group open. How do I make this going? And they're like, oh, we're just waiting for an admin person. We need someone to raise their hand to be the admin. As Black women, right? I was like, yeah, I'm here. Let me be the admin. Let me get this group started. And that's how it started. So the group has been active for 4 or 5 years now, and I'm the admin. There's another admin as well. I think we're like close to probably 400 people right now in Ottawa. We have done in-person meetups, we do online meetup. And so again, in that group, in just like chatting with people who are either have already reached financial independence, who are close to FI, the one who are starting, again, I was like, I'm not seeing Black people here. I'm not seeing Black women. What's going on? And to me, it's just like, why is everybody out here talking about building wealth and Black women are not there? Black people are not there. I'm not saying that no Black women or no Black people are building wealth, but we are not out there, out there actively talking about it and sharing and really, being intentional about it. And again, we were doing meetups. I was finding myself the only Black person or the only Black woman and all that. And I know that, there are people, there are Black people out there also building wealth. So for me, it was like that was the third part of the why. And so the idea of doing the Wealthy Black Women Summit probably came 2 years ago that I started thinking about it. And I'm like, I would like to create a space for Black women to come, to share, to learn about building wealth. Not only the making and saving the money, but also the investing the money, but also the protecting our assets so we can build generational wealth. Talking about generational wealth, and I'm not sure if you guys actually came across that article last year. That was by NBC, I think NBC News in the United States, which was saying that Black people are about to miss on $68 trillion of transfer of generational wealth. So in the next 25 years, so that was a 2022 article, and they were saying in the next 25 years, there is going to be $68 trillion of generational wealth transfer from one generation to the other. And Black people are not there. We are not there. Because according to that same article, they're saying by 2053, if nothing is being done, Black wealth is going to go to zero. What? I mean, I don't know for you, but to me, it's alarming. 2053, that's like 30 years from now. I'll be 70. I don't want to live to see that. Of course, I want to live a long life, but I don't want to be 70 and seeing my people not building wealth, not wealthy, because it doesn't matter how much you hate or love money or whatever the relationship you have with the money. We need the money to do the things we need to do for ourselves and our people. So we need to be intentional about it. So, and I don't know. So yeah, so it's actually Evelyn Adu February, who I actually interviewed on this platform, is the one who talked about that article the first time. And if you guys haven't seen the interview that I did of her, was earlier this year, because she's building a real estate empire, doing her own thing up there in Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada. And she shared that article with me. And to me, it's something that clearly in my mind, I still think about it. Oh, hi, Evelyn. Here I am talking about you, and you're there. Right there. So Evelyn shared that article with me, and I bookmark it. I have it bookmarked on my phone because I want to live to 2053 to prove that article wrong. And so I want to contribute to that, and that's my contribution through this channel, through the Wealthy Black Women Summit. And I know I cannot help all Black people, but I know also that's why I'm focusing on Black women, because when Black women thrive, magic happens. Magic happens, and when we do that in community, sky is not even the limit. Sky is not even the limit, and so that's the reason behind the Wealthy Black Women Summit. Those three key moments in my life. And so, if you read my community tab, I was chatting with Tanisha Matthews about the summit, and I'm like, I would like to have you as a speaker because she's so great at credit cards. And she said when, and we were having the conversation in August. She said when, and I said, oh, in November, thinking November 2024, because I'm on mat leave. I have like 8 months twins. I have a 3-year-old. I was just like, I'm not doing this year. And she said, oh, November, I'm available. My calendar is open. I'm like, how does she know that? It's like a year from now. Tanisha was thinking November 2023. In my mind, I'm thinking November 2024. And I was about to launch and be like, no, girl, I'm not talking about November this year. And then I'm like, then why not? Why not? Right. Okay. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to hate myself. I'm probably going to cancel maybe this thing at the end if it doesn't work. But why not this year? Why again push it by 1 year? Maybe this summit is going to help a Black woman to launch into something, to open her investment account, start her business, get off credit card debt. Why not this year? And that's what happened. So I had a conversation with her in August, and then I started making my list of speakers that I wanted to have on the summit. And you are not going to believe me. Each speaker, including Evelyn. Evelyn was a speaker at the Wealthy Black Women Summit this year. Each Black woman that I've approached and I ask her, I like what you're doing. I would like to have you on my summit. Listen, I don't know if I'm going to have 5 people, 50 people, 100 people. I really don't know because I'm starting from scratch. But I would like to have you as a speaker. Each of them said yes, except one. And that was because she was pregnant, due to deliver in September. And she said, it's really close to my time. I'm going to have a baby running around to take care of, not running around yet, but to take care of. But you know what she did? She referred me to someone else. And that person said yes. And so God made it so easy for me because I was just like, if it's going to take me a month to secure speakers, when am I going to start the promotion? But like within a week, all of my speakers were secured. And you know what? I'm not a fan of free labor. I'm not a fan of free labor because, listen, people don't value free things. And all of the speakers that I've contacted, they are experts in what they are doing. And so for me, even if that was like $50 that I was going to pay them, I knew that I needed to pay them something. So in my mind starting, I knew that I was not actually organizing any event with the free ticket. For me, it was like, if you're going to come to the event, you're going to have to pay because you know that you're going to get something from it that's going to actually change your life. Evelyn, I remember when we talked about it. Yeah, you pulled off so well in such a short time. Yeah. Well, you guys made it easy for me. Like I say, you know what? I stand on the shoulders of giants. And honestly, the speakers made it easy because I secured the speaker within a week. And I'm like, okay, well, so then the next thing is set up the website and start the promotion, right? And so that's what happened. All of my speakers were paid. And a lot of people, came to me and be like, oh, well, why don't you consider doing a free ticket? And then maybe, people will pay you on the upgrade. But by then my tickets were already I already set up my ticket to be paid. And in my mind, because I was like, I want to be able to pay all of my speakers. So for me to be able to pay my speakers, I need to be able to make money. And so I'm a numbers geek. You guys, yeah, this is the channel to build wealth. So numbers, numbers. And so I knew at 50 participants, I will break even in terms of my costs because I needed to pay for the event site, I needed to pay for the broadcast platform, I needed to pay for a few things, right? So the speakers, even people were paying through Stripe. I need to pay for that. Like I needed to pay for a few things. So I knew at 50 participants, I will break even with a mix of regular day pass and VIP. So my goal was to get 50 participants. I ended up with 54 in total. At 54, listen, I didn't make I didn't even make like a $300 on this summit. However, the summit happened, and I was able to pay all of my speakers, cover all my costs, and I'm not out of pocket. And so the reason I'm sharing that with you, and let's start with actually what went well with this summit. The first thing is that it happened. I'm laughing because I'm telling you, as I was going toward November 18, I was like, I'm going to cancel this thing. I'm actually going to cancel it because there were days I was just like, why am I doing this? I'm on mat leave. I'm supposed to enjoy my time with my kids. And here I am organizing a summit. Who asked you? So, first thing, good thing that happened, it happened. The summit happened. Second, all the speakers showed up. All the speakers shared their expertise, and honestly, even through the chat, you could see the impact on the attendees. So I really enjoyed that. The third thing, we didn't have any technology issue, right? So for those who are like also Exodus Squad, you guys know that this year, the Exodus Summit, the first day, unfortunately, the platform went down because we just took over internet. We were like over 1,000 Black women trying to log in all that at the same time, so the thing shut down. I only have 54, and I knew all the 54 are not going to show up. So I was just like, I just need this thing to hold on for like whatever, 25, 30 participants who want to attend this thing live. So luckily, we didn't have any tech issue on that end. So, and also because a lot of people register are familiar with the platform, they already knew how to navigate the platform. So I didn't have to deal with too many people having issues getting into the live broadcast. So all of that really went well. Like I said, I covered my cost, and I had an amazing host, Missy Prosper. Really took like a huge load off me, so I didn't have to be hosting in between sessions, and I could also focus on my session. And because also in the background, I was like doing the the emails. And I remember one of the attendees, she sent an email, and then I replied, and she's like, how come you're the one doing this? You should be focusing on the summit. Get help next year. And I'm like, oh yeah, I will. Hopefully I can have and make enough money that I can actually get someone next year to do the admin part, because it was a stressful day. I felt like I had to be everywhere. But again, not many emails to deal with. What else in terms of great things that happened? The support, the love. So you guys know, right? Like if you're from Exodus, that I was on Stephanie's YouTube channel a week before the Wealthy Black Women Summit happened. Literally a week before, because I think I was there on the 11th. The summit was on the 18th to talk about something separate, right? To be like talk about being the eldest daughter. But she gave me a huge shout out, right? She's like, okay, what are you up to? What do you have that's coming next? And she let me talk about the summit in front of the 700 something people who attend her YouTube live every week, every Saturday, including me. Like every Saturday, even if I have the kids, I put it and I'm there commenting and everything. She gave me a huge shout out in front of her people, and the majority of the attendees came from that YouTube live. So the support that I got from the community, and I've never met Stephanie in person. We're just chatting. I think I had a coaching call with her, and then I was chatting about the summit, and she's like, okay, well, okay, we can do this, we can do that. And Anyway, so then all of that came to me being on her platform, talking about something that is not related to the summit, but she gave me that possibility to talk about the summit. And a lot of people came. And so in my mind, even when I started the summit, I thought that, most of the attendees will be Canadian. Guess what? Most of the other attendees are Americans. And lucky for me, I did not have a session that was too focused on Canada, like, taxes or like something like that. Most of the sessions are something that honestly a Canadian or like an American person can take and apply. And that makes me also think for next year, because I hope there will be a next year. I hope I can, I can come up with something next year again for this summit. But, and that's another aspect that I didn't think of. This is great because this is a summit not only for Canadian Black women, but also for American Black women. Because at the end of the day, the building wealth is not only building Canadian wealth, but also the American part. So again, thank you to Stephanie Perry. Thank you to Rashida Dow, who also gave me a shout out right after the summit on her YouTube live. She's like, I think your summit has happened, but I hope that you have like a replay pass. And she's like, put your link. She said that on the live, right? And she had like over 300 people in there. So again, and 1 week prior to the summit, I was still thinking of canceling because I don't think I had like even 20 people register 1 week prior. But right after the YouTube live with Stephanie, it just skyrocketed. Like, it just boomed from there. Because I guess what I shared on her platform, a lot of Black women related to that. And of course, when I talked about the summit, a lot of Black women are like, yeah, that's something that I want to hear about. And when they came, they were there, they showed up, and it was amazing to see, right, the support. And so yeah, so that was great. What else? What else? What else? Again, I'm just happy that it actually happened, and that the speakers showed up and the attendees also were there. It was a great day. Again, I was all over the place, but honestly, at the end of the day, I was so happy that it happened, and I got a lot of feedback, constructive feedback as well, that I'm going to take in consideration for next year. Right there. So I don't know. You guys let me know if you're watching right now, if you're part of the summit. Evelyn already shared how she was happy to be there and that she enjoyed it, that it was an incredible experience. So let me know in the comments if you attended. So those are the things that went well. The second thing, so the other part that definitely I believe, and the reason I'm sharing this, again, it's not so much because I absolutely want you to buy the replay pass or like to show up for next year, but you may be thinking of organizing something like that as well. I got inspired of using the same platform because I've been attending Exodus Summit for 3 or 4 years now, and I kind of like that platform because it's a very self-content platform. People go there, they buy the tickets, they can go there and show and watch the broadcast, and you don't want to be sending people to different destinations too much, right? So I got inspired from Rashida and Stephanie's summit. So who knows? You may get inspired from my experience, especially that I'm just starting, right? So, and one thing that also Rashida did right after the Exodus Summit this year, I don't know if you saw it on her second channel, which is Rashida Dough, Dough. She did a live about running successful online events, and that was before the Wealthy Black Women Summit. So I was there and I was asking her a question, right? And she was answering, clearly answering. And so that's what I love about this community, the Exodus Squad, but also about Black women. Like, we're not walking like this. We're walking like this, right? Because when you're walking like this, you're not sharing, you're keeping everything to yourself, but you're also not getting anything. Nobody can share anything. Like, nothing can get in there. But when you're walking like this, yeah, you're sharing. I'm not saying you should share all of your life and all, but the knowledge, the experience, the expertise, the love, the care, the kindness. When you're walking like this, it's good because you're sharing. But guess what? Someone also can share with you. And so to me, it's just, amazing that way. So the reason I want to share with you is in case you're thinking of doing something like this, so you can learn from definitely Shida and Tiffany that have been doing it for many years, and from someone who just started, right? So I just told you what went well. Thank you, Hope and Victory. Thank you, thank you. Um, thank you for sharing that. And so yeah, so I mean, things that I could have done differently. Okay, the first thing, the admin part of things. Listen, listen. I can tell you, it's not fun. It's not fun. And I could have hired someone to do it. However, that person, their price was just too expensive for me. I wouldn't have been able to pay them, and I wasn't into negotiating the price. So I said, this year definitely I'm not able to contract your services, but hopefully next year I will be able to put myself in a position. So, hopefully next year I would have built the community, I would have built the audience. It would be much easier. People would have already attended this year's event. It will be easier for them to buy the ticket next year and all that. So hopefully I can make more money and being able to hire someone for the admin part. Because that took a lot of my time dealing even with building the platform, building the page, and the day of so many things, right? So having that person who can deal with that will just be helpful for me, right? So then I can focus on promoting the event, which I feel like I did not do enough this year. So the other thing that definitely I'll need to do better next year, hopefully when I do the event, is have a promotion plan in place and share that with the speakers so they know what's going on, how I'm going to be promoting, so that they can tag along on the platform, because of course they were promoting on the by themselves, but not everybody is comfortable promoting. And so just being able to piggyback on what I'm doing, it's much easier for them. And so uh, the other thing is I realized that I was starting from not zero, but like a very very small amount of people, audience, right? Because I mean, y'all on my YouTube channel right now, it's not like I have like 100,000 subscribers. I don't even think that I already hit 1,000 subscribers. So, and most of my subscribers again are from the US, right? So I knew that I didn't have the audience, I didn't have the community that you can actually advertise to and know that people will just like buy your ticket. Like, Exodus. When they say early bird ticket, I don't even know who's the speakers, whatever. I just get my ticket. I'll figure out the speakers later because I know that they are going to deliver. I might not like it as much as I liked the one last year or whatnot, but I know I'm going to get something from this summit, which is going to be helping me in my move abroad plan. So when they say early bird ticket, you can be sure that I'm among the first one to buy. And they can get that because they have built the audience and the community for it. So my hope, you know, post the summit right now. And that's why I also created a Facebook page. And I don't know if you guys are already on the Facebook, not Facebook page, Facebook group. So I don't know if you're already on the Facebook group of the Wealthy Black Women Summit. If you are not there yet, which I don't think there are not that many people. I think we're like 5 people right now because again, I haven't been promoting it. But if you can go on Facebook, search the group, and ask to join the group, it would be great. So we can start building the community. Of course, you need to be a Black woman, because I don't know who are out here listening, but don't send me any request to join the group if you are not a Black woman, because you will not be accepted, period. So, and I need to be able to see that you're a Black woman on your profile. Any ambiguous profile, sorry, I cannot. I'll just not I'm not trying to build any community at any price. I want to build a community of Black women who are looking at building wealth. Okay, so that's that. So I need to build the community, and so in the next year or so, until I do the next summit, that's my goal. Throughout the Facebook group, throughout my newsletter, not newsletter, but like my email list, and also throughout here, right? Like with my subscribers here, build a community of Black women who want to come together and talk about building wealth and exchanging learning, connecting, getting accountability partners. Guys, get an accountability partner. Listen, since I've discovered the financial independence movement, I have an accountability partner. She's not a Black woman, but she's a woman. And we are both dedicated to reaching financial independence, at least a form of financial independence, because I'm not sure now that I want to go all the way to financial independence. That's going to take me too long. I need out. This country is cold. I need out. So I don't think I'm going to wait until I reach financial independence, but I need to find a way to sustain myself now that I've reached coast five, which to me is very important, right? So I have an accountability partner, and we meet every month. Every month we have an action item that we decide to focus on, and the following month we update each other on it. Anything you want to accomplish in this life, that's the way it has worked for me. Even for the YouTube, I have a YouTube accountability partner. We did the Stephanie Perry YouTube challenge together last year, April 2022. And then we decided to be a accountability partner, her and I, and we have been supporting each other, right? So she's more dedicated. I've been playing. But anyway, I've been busy too. I was like busy breeding, multiplying myself. But anyway, so having an accountability partner for anything you want to do, I promise, if you both have the same goals and you really committed to it, is going to make a huge difference, right? Uh, so yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah. So the community, it's for that. It's for like no judgment, no shame, no blame, no guilt. I'm here because I want to learn. I want to get better. I want to make sure that statistic, that whatever projection that they have, the 2053 projection that Black love will go to zero, not possible, because us Black women, we are not going to make that projection happen, right? So we need to be intentional to be able to make sure that that actually doesn't happen. So that's that. So definitely not having the audience did not really help me. So hopefully that changed next year. What else? The pricing. Woof, guys, the pricing. I don't know. Is there a course, how to price event? I was just like, I know for my pricing, I talked to Stephanie about it. I talked to actually I talked to Evelyn even about it. I'm like, you know the program now. What do you think? How much you think you'll be able, if that was something that you just found on the internet like that, how much you think that you would pay? So I kind of like, chatted a little bit with various people to get a sense of, how much I think people will be open to pay, still keeping in mind that as much as possible, I didn't want to, find myself be out of pocket for like thousands and thousands of dollars. Where I'm like, even if I had to put something maximum $1,000, I'll be fine. But I don't want to be out of pocket for like $3,000 because I have to pay speakers, I have to pay the cost of this and that and whatnot. And so, but still, I still think that, the pricing that I came with, and maybe because it's the first year, and especially for the VIP one, I don't think that I price it well. And again, it's also because when you have the VIP, you need to come up with some value for people to pay more than that, right? So, because usually when you look at pricing between a regular ticket and a VIP ticket, the pricing is much different. Mine was like $20 or like $30 difference. It's almost like saying either the VIP pass doesn't bring you that much value, or like, just get a day pass, you're fine, right? So people need to see the value of getting the VIP pass. Mind you, most of the tickets that I sold were still VIP pass. But that's because, like I said, most of the attendees are American, and they're like 89 Canadian dollars. That's like what, 50 US dollars or like 60? I don't know the conversion. That's like chump change for them, right? So they just buy. So next year I'll have to really give a uh, better consideration to the pricing, and that's something that I will strongly suggest to really look into. Look at maybe other events that are happening, maybe in the same field. Talk to experts. Try to come up with the pricing that is not going to deter people, but it's going to be a a good reflection of the value that you're going to be sharing. I felt like maybe my pricing was a bit on the lower end. And sometimes people also see pricing, they're like, oh, that's it. I don't know what kind of value I'm gonna get. But I'm like, I have this long lineup of amazing Black women sharing their expertise because they're doing the thing. And so I have to review that for next year. So yeah, the pricing was something that definitely I wasn't really too sure of. What else? What else? Okay, let me check my notes because I took some notes. Okay, okay. Two things that I think that maybe I need to give a better thought to. The first thing is the concept of wealth. So you guys tell me in the chat, when you hear wealth, what do you think of? What is the first thought that comes to mind? And so the reason why I'm saying that is because when I hear wealth, I'm thinking about money. And so my first thought when I wanted to organize this summit was just to talk about money all day, credit card, investment, insurance, anything. And so people are like, yeah, maybe you can do that all day and feel okay, but I can tell you that's gonna turn off some people because money is emotional. And so that might trigger a lot of people and they won't be able to attend like, 3, 4, 6, 10 sessions in a row talking just about money. Why don't you weave in other aspects of wealth? Because again, wealth is a larger concept than just the money part, right? So you have physical wealth, you have emotional wealth, you have, of course, financial wealth, personal wealth. And so that's why I decided to actually add other components of wealth. That's why we ended up talking about hair with Ria Jamet. We talked about physical wealth with Adeline Mutambanema. So she did a workout in the morning at 7 a.m. That workout. I did not do it, but I think I need to go back and do it just to feel like, okay, I participated. And then she talked about also your health is your wealth later in her session. And we also had Ndunge Pavao. She came and she talked about getting hired, and how to stand out when you send that resume, things to really keep in mind when you send the resume, but also for interview. So she was a wealth of knowledge in that sense. Evelyn, who's here, shared about profit first. How do you set up your business to make sure that you are paying yourself first? The same when we're talking about paying yourself first for personal finances. When it comes to business, a lot of people, and including me, right? Because when I was thinking about doing the summit, I wasn't thinking about my pay. Though I was a speaker, I should have been paid, right? But for me, it was just like I need 50 people to be even. But I wasn't thinking about my own pay. But Evan was like, listen, if you have a business and so she shared how to structure it. You structure it like this, and you make sure to pay yourself first your business, but you can't make it. Well, your business is not viable. Like, ouch. Anyway, so that's what it is, right? If you have a business and then you cannot make sure that you're paying yourself consistently, then your business idea might not be viable, and it's better to know that at the beginning than at the end. And so that's why I really, and entrepreneurship. We had Magda Silvest coming to talk about entrepreneurship, journey of an entrepreneur. She owns like 3 restaurants here right now in Canada. If you guys know, restaurant business is no easy business. And now she's focusing on mentorship, right? So, but I'll say probably half of the session were like money related in terms of credit cards, recent investments. I did a session on investment, or not even half, actually less than half. But I don't know what I'm going to do next year. Am I going to just focus on the money or still integrate some other aspect of wealth? So Hope and Victory says, wealth is for me the freedom of choices. Love that. The word freedom, I love that word. If you guys read my about section here, that's why I'm here. For the freedom. The freedom. We don't talk about it enough. The freedom. Yeah, so the freedom of choices. So yeah, so and you guys will tell me. You'll tell me as we grow the group, as we talk about wealth. I'll say, yeah, I won't make it any restrictive to start with. If people want to talk about, I don't know, skin, fine. That's what we want to talk about. That's what we feel like. But I still think that we need to talk about money quite a bit. Quite a bit. All right. So we'll see. We'll see where we go with that. I'll see how I'm going to structure it next year. One thing that maybe I would do differently also next year is the schedule. So Those who attended and who are here, how did you like the schedule? Listen, we started at 7 a.m. and we ended around 8 p.m. or 8:30. 10 sessions and one Zoom chat session. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I didn't want to do it over 2 days because, you know, I want to spend time with my kids as much as possible. Right? I'm still on mat leave. I'm going back to work next year. So I just like, I'm just going to make this a 1 day boot camp style schedule, one session after the other. We had like 1 hour break for the entire day. Actually, 2 hours break. So 1 hour after the workout session and 1 hour during the session. So 2 hours break between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. But that's still a lot. So I don't know how that kind of like, how do you guys like that? Essentially, but I don't know if I would do it differently next year. Maybe over 2 days or fewer sessions, more specific sessions, more practical sessions. Anyway, we'll see. But that's one thing that definitely I want to keep in mind. Yeah, to get free, yeah, we need money. You can't get around it. Like, listen, for me, money is freedom. Money is two things. You guys let me know, what is money for you? Money is two things for me. The first thing, security. The second, let me put this, freedom. You know, I mean, open your eyes. What are those people who can do whatever they want, when they want, with whom they want, blah, blah, blah? With money and also the health, right? So definitely health first. But the money, it sets you free. Listen, if I had the money that I so wanted to have right now, yeah, I will not be broadcasting from cold Ottawa. Hmm, I will be broadcasting from some warm weather, right? Eating tacos, enjoying the sun, drinking sangria, margarita, all those things. But I'm here. I have a tea, cold Ottawa. Right now, I'm not wearing a jacket and all of those things because I'm inside. But right after this, I'm going shopping with my mom. And guess what? We're all going to be bundling up. It's going to take us like 15 minutes to get out of the door. What kind of life is this? I need out. So, yeah, we need money. What is money for you guys? And I'm going to get out of here really soon. I just wanted to be 1 hour. Actually, no, it's 47 minutes. I thought I was already over the hour. But anyway, so that's that for me. Money is security and money is freedom. And that's why I'm really big on that, especially for Black women. Listen, we pour into so many people's cups. Let's don't let the money be the reason why you don't get to live the life you want. And it's so, I know sometimes we're like, oh, it's so difficult. But once you have the tools, once you have the community, the support, it's so much easier. It's all about being around like-minded people and who's gonna motivate you to do the work because you know I know sometimes it's not what we want to do. So that's about it. Okay, so next steps, right before I let you go. If you have attended and you have gotten the follow-up emails, please fill out the survey. I've been getting, the surveys completed, and I'm going to be reading them. I'm going to be taking them in consideration definitely for next year. I don't have a date for next year. I guess you guys may be thinking, so we have one next year. Yes, we're gonna have another summit next year. We're gonna have another summit. I think I'm going to do this over 3 years, even before starting, even before the summit. I told myself, even if this year was a flop, you're still gonna do it for the following year, and you're still gonna do it for 2 years after, because it's just too easy to do it once and just stop. Right? So many times we try something once and it doesn't work and we stop. But so I already committed myself. I'm doing this 3 years in a row. So next year I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I don't have the date yet. We'll see. Chances are still be in November, because November here in Canada is Financial Literacy Month. So probably sometimes in November, we'll see. So that's the thing. The survey, please, if you and I also put the link to the survey, I believe, in the description below. Did I? I'm not 100% sure. But if you attended, you'll have my follow-up Email, it might be in your spam. Please check your spam because it's coming from my Gmail account, the Wealthy Black Women Summit at gmail.com. The second thing, join the Facebook group. Come on, join in, join in. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about building wealth, talking about money freely, talking about other aspect of wealth too, but really learning from each other and progressing together. So join the Facebook group. And the third thing, tell a friend to tell a friend, right? If you attended and you loved it, maybe some of your friends didn't have a chance to attend, share the this link with them, the Wealthy Black Women Summit website with them so they can get the replay pass. And in case you were one of those who got the day pass and which gave you access only to the broadcast the day of, and now you're like, oh, I would like to listen to this session again, my session, right? Yeah, y'all should be listening to my session again. So if you have the day pass and you still wanted to listen to my session again, then you can upgrade. And in which case, you better send me an email so I can give you your personalized link for you to upgrade to a VIP pass, which give you access to the replay for 3 months. Right there. So all in all, amazing experience. It was an amazing experience. It was nerve-wracking. But if you out there listening to me and you were thinking of organizing an online event, I say go for it. Go for it, and go for it not only once, but commit to doing it at least 2 times. You know, this year, next year, or like, this quarter, next quarter, or like this half of the year, the second half of the year. Because, it's like dating, right? Except you leave the guy is like, he has something that really turn you off. But it's kind of like hard to judge someone on the first um, I guess, meeting. Is it meeting? Man, does it show that I haven't dated in a long time? Listen, the first time you meet the guy, right? The first dating, whatever, meeting. So, because everybody is a little bit nervous. And then, you might say something you didn't mean. You might do something that you usually don't do. Same thing for the guy, right? So, uh, give yourself grace and give yourself space. And don't judge yourself too harsh. So if you try an online event, and or like in-person event, first time, and you pour your soul into it and everything, and it doesn't go according to plan, recoup, regroup, and go at it again, right? So that's what I'll leave you with today. If you haven't done this yet, make sure to like this video. Also subscribe to the channel. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. And hit the notification bell. So I'm gonna try to have this time, so Wednesday 12 p.m. as my live time. We'll see how things go. That's what works for me the best right now, because evenings I spend it with my kids. My oldest is from the comes from daycare, and I really don't just want to spend time with my kids in the evening, getting them ready for dinner. And bath time, it's a busy time. Like, I shower one after the other. Poof, poof, poof. Takes me like an hour to bathe all the kids every evening. So I prefer to do that than be here with you guys. So, and then weekends, again, I have my oldest at home, just want to spend time with the kids. So that leaves me with a weekday. So I went with Wednesday because I want to go back to workout. And Adeline told me workout right now, I believe it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that leaves me with Wednesday. That's how I came up with Wednesday, 12 p.m. to be with you guys, knowing that again, I'm not gonna be getting that many people, but that's fine. You just have to come back and listen to the replay. You can do that. I'll make sure that doesn't go too long, so maximum an hour and a half, and then that's what it is. That's what's gonna be like that for the foreseeable future. However, next week we're changing already the schedule. It will still be on Wednesday, but it will be Wednesday 8 p.m. And the only reason why I'm doing an exception for that one is because that person also works. And so I'm gonna get the babysitter to look after the kids, because I'm going to be interviewing a YouTube sister, Canadian Black woman sister out here, also talking about money. She's actually in the same Choosify Ottawa group. I found her like that and interviewed her for something else. And I'm like, listen, come on my YouTube. You're gonna be sharing on my YouTube. Her YouTube platform is much bigger than mine. But I'm like, I was talking as if she was gonna be like. But anyway, I love my subscribers and I want you guys to get to know her. Her name is Catrice Justice. So we're going to be going live Wednesday, December 6th, if I'm not mistaken, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars. I'm going to be putting also a notification here for you guys. And I'm looking forward to it. She's younger than me, uh, but she has been doing great things in the financial independence, the journey to financial independence. So you guys will get to know her. That's about it. So I don't know if you have questions, comments. If not, I'm gonna bring this to a close. I want to thank you wholeheartedly for coming here and then chatting with me a little bit. And yeah, get your replay pass. Continue sharing with your network how amazing was the summit. Join the Facebook group. Please fill out the survey. And until next time, keep on building wealth. Ciao, ciao.